And we're live. Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello. So nice to see everybody after the first of the year.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Yes.
I don't know that it makes any difference, but I'm snowed in here in Kansas City. We had about 8 to 10 inches of snow, so that is quite unusual.
We don't have snow, but our schools here in Tennessee will cancel on threat of snow. So I'm guessing that so we canceled yesterday because of it, and we'll probably cancel Friday because of it too. So it's just how it rolls.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, actually, what it is there's a lot of black ice, and our county is mountain. You know, we have mountains and lakes, and so because of the mountains and the steep roads and black ice, they don't like to take any chances. So anyway, we can have a snow day and no snow, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, that happens.
So we're just waiting for a few people to come on, and I'm trying to
joining
a few buttons here so I can see my screen better.
We got some people joining from Canada, North Carolina,
Mexico.
Oh, Jana's from Mazatlan, Mexico. That's awesome. Wow. So yeah, we're excited to share today. Just why did we turn yellow? Are you having fun, John?
I didn't do it, man. I was just saying I like it blue back again.
I think that was me. I don't know what it is. See, it was.
All right. So just go click.
There's just a lot of buttons, you know.
Yeah. All right, John, I'll let you take care of that. All right. Well, good morning. Yeah, we can jump in, and John, you want to fix the blue, or you need me to? There we go. All right.
I think we're ready.
All right. Okay. Well, so we're going to talk about first wave today. We've already got a few questions in the chat. I can see people asking about frequencies, so we're really excited to help walk you guys through that. And so wanted to just start with our disclaimer. Oh, first of all, Happy New Year. How's everybody doing so far, 2025? Drop a note in the chat. I think for most of the country, we're just freezing cold. And I know there's a lot of fires going on in LA, so let's pray for LA in that area. And yeah, I'll start with our disclaimer. So the WAVwatch is a low-risk acoustical frequency product in the general wellness category designed to support self-care and overall wellness. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The WAVwatch is not approved or classified as a medical device, and its frequencies are considered experimental. All right, and Linda had this video she wanted us to show.
Yeah, this is why I developed the WAVwatch. Some of this information just kept coming and coming. So I think it's a really good idea on why the WAVwatch is important to us.
Of what? 5, right? Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. Do you know how they're arranged? The phosphorus sits right here in the middle, and you've got 4 oxygen atoms surrounding it. Then there's another phosphorus, 2 more oxygen atoms. Now, these are the legs of that double helix. The latter steps on it, they become the adenine, the guanine, the cytosine, and thymine, the ATCGs. It turns out they used to think that the body transferred or understood the energy information through electricity. They're finding out it's through frequency. Well, guess what hydrogen sounds like? It's a key of E, and it's the color yellow. Oxygen is a chartreuse, and it's the key of F over F sharp. The carbon is also the key of E and yellow. Nitrogen is G. That's what proper physics gets you to. Information used to be thought about as just electrical information passing on. But I got a question for you. Have you ever been at a party with some of your friends? You hung out and there's a song that came on and you were like, "Ugh," and everybody got up and was live at that moment. So when that song comes on, our DNA tightens. There's a particular song, a scale in the genome for each and every one of us. Now, when that song is played, when your particular prime resonant frequency is played, guess what happens? Your DNA celebrates and tightens. Everything else gets pushed out. Harmonic wave resequencing. Our DNA is made up of what? 5 elements, right?
That was super interesting.
So doesn't that make sense a little bit on the WAVwatch? We keep talking about songs. We play songs, and that's what he kind of described.
Yep. So apparently my audio is a little weird, so I'll let you guys talk more.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What were you saying, Linda?
So that's why we talk about songs on the WAVwatch. We have songs. So I hope that video kind of pepped you up a little bit to make you think about why we need to listen to frequencies. Mm-hmm. It can change our DNA. And that's some of the ideas that I was putting together and thinking, wow, let's do this on a watch. We can wear it all the time or wear it some of the time.
Yes. And I think, the slide that Joseph's got up right now is why frequency sets. And we get a lot of questions about that. We have for the last few months. And, really when Linda did such an incredible job developing the WAVwatch, the original WAVwatch, many of the folders and such were arranged kind of as a playlist in and of itself. But people didn't really end up reading the manuals, and we had 8-minute songs or 8-minute sets of 8-minute frequencies. And so I don't know that people were getting the full benefit and the full breadth and width of what the WAVwatch was able to accomplish if they were only hyper focusing on a few certain frequencies. And so Linda and I worked a lot over the summer. Never seen so much of my mom on Zoom. It was fantastic. We did really enjoy it. And we worked together and collaborated and put together frequency sets, which basically are, kind of playlists in and of themselves that are at least an hour and 4 minutes long. And if you're really good with math, that means that there are 8-minute frequencies that are bound together and to about 64 minutes long, at least, if not more. And Joseph, can you go to the slide about where we explain a little bit more on frequency sets? Because I want to make sure that, yeah. So, and, part of it is people are starting to, there's some frustration here and there about it. But the truth is, because of the general wellness regulations that the FDA has, our set names are designed to avoid referencing specific medical conditions, focusing instead on broader wellness goals to comply with these guidelines. And you can hear that sentence and read that sentence, but the truth is we can't legally reference very specific names without being almost guilty of saying that we can fix those things exactly, and without specific studies and specific all sorts of different things, we're not able to legally reference an exact name. And so that's why you're seeing us using a bit more general terms, but we've put the real things in there, and we're doing our best to make a device and to continue making a device that has been helpful for so many people. And that's the long and short of it with the WAVwatch 2.0 and our frequency sets. And it's an exciting time. And I also want to say that it's not just trying to come under those guidelines, but it's also us trying to figure out how we can leverage the power of these frequencies and put them together in such a way that it's a longer playing playlist that is really, really easy to use and simple. And so anyway, we worked very hard over that all summer long, and are excited about the device that is currently available.
Joseph? Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm really proud. I was not in all of the conversations, but, just the way that both Linda and John, got a lot of data from you guys, our customers, and what frequencies were really working for you, but also reached out to partners like Dr. EMF, that was on a webinar here last month to talk about sleep and their deep expertise on the Chinese body clock and different organs at different times of the night. There's just a lot in there, and because really we had been using these webinars every week to tell people, hey, if you've got this thing, try these 5 or 6 or 7 different ideas. So now instead of you having to put together your own playlist, we've done it for you. And so that's really the other power of frequency sets. And I know it's hard for people because when something changes, they're like, I don't get it. It's different, but we just want to cover some of that today. And so, if you look at all the frequency sets on the WaveWatch 2.0 and also 1.9, all of the same frequencies from 1.0 are in there. They're just inside a playlist called a frequency set. So and the frequency finder is a tool if you're exactly looking for something.
Joseph, can you either lean in or unplug your speaker and plug it back in or something? Your voice is just in and out, in and out. So sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all right.
Try that now. Now let's see.
All right. How's that? Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the frequency finder, if you're looking for something very specific, that's a great tool that we've built. So if you want to know that, you can. We just can't name the frequency sets with a specific name. I hope that makes sense for people. So, all right. Well, I'll let you guys take it.
Yeah. And,
all right.
Well, and now that you can talk, you're not going to talk anymore, but I get it.
Oh, man.
And then we do also have a lot of people asking. I see people they're asking about a manual, and there is a manual that ships with the WaveWatch, and it comes inside of your case, and it has all the frequency sets in there, and those also line up with what's on the frequency finder, and then we'll be also coming out with a slightly more specific one. We're not changing anything other than adding a little bit more information for people. And so we can have that available for download soon as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've made some comments about we're trying to stay within the general wellness category, and we have to be careful on our wording. The WaveWatch is so unique that we actually don't know where to start doing any double-blind studies. We have about 200 possibilities because there are so many good testimonies from you on how the WaveWatch has worked for you. So that's our next step, is to get some double-blind testimonies, get some double-blind studies done, or some, specific studies, so that then we could begin using some of the wording that you have been used to. But again, we're kind of overwhelmed because we've got about 200 possibilities and obviously not enough money to do 200 studies. So again, we have simplified the WaveWatch, and the 24-page booklet is now just a front and back on a brochure, because all of those frequencies are still there, but they are inside a larger frequency set, as we named them. So today we wanted to tell you and go over the importance of what we have named first wave. And hopefully that makes sense. That's the first thing you should do, first wave. So if you have your watch, you'll see that there are, files and then first wave. So when you touch that one, it will open up and you will see line wave, parawave, wave defense, wave detox. And then you'll see at the bottom, can you go back one? You'll see at the bottom, it says 1 of 2. And then you click the arrow to the right, and it will open up one more screen that says wave relief. So that's the importance of just seeing how this works and the ease. So let's see what those do. Can you go back two screens?
Oh,
I know you're helping.
Okay, sure.
So again, These are the ideas that are inside first wave. And what we were finding that we were teaching people over and over again, and actually had it in a paragraph form, that you should play these ideas first. But sometimes that paragraph got missed and people didn't read it. So they didn't know what to play. So we put it in a category that we hope is playing first wave. That's what you should play first. So wave relief, Lyme wave, para wave, wave defense, and wave detox are the areas that we think are the most important and that people should be playing on a regular basis. So that's why they're all in this folder called first wave. Okay, let's see that explanation. So wave relief is the most important one that we got feedback from people. And basically, this is when you have joint pain, when you have soreness, when you have some kind of inflammation, pain, or trauma. And those words are very big words that we will be starting some studies on to be able to prove those. So if you have knee pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, this is a good start to do that. Again, if you've just been you cut your finger, you can play that one. Also, if you've been in any kind of a little trauma, because of an accident, this is the folder to start with. And we have gotten more feedback on this one than any other folder. So we've even expanded it. And before, what we had told people to do was to play 4 or 5 ideas and then go to another folder. Well, now they're all together. So you don't have to go anywhere. You just touch wave relief, and that's a really strong folder for you to use. Now, another one that we spent a lot of time explaining was Lyme wave. And we are talking about Lyme disease. And this is a problem that people do not realize is so pervasive throughout the U.S. I have spent many, many hours teaching about Lyme disease and working with people. So just a little background on the importance of it. There are about 25 different associated pathogens with Lyme disease. Some of them are bacteria, some of them are parasites, some of them, I don't know if I said viruses already, but, mycotoxins. The list is endless on things that are associated with wave disease. And they kind of travel in a group. Now, we may associate them with with ticks and bites and say, oh, I've never had a tick bite, so I couldn't have that. But this is what the problem is, and this is the importance of it. Lyme disease can be passed through any body fluid. And my favorite idea that I like to tell you is you could get on an airplane and someone else could be carrying Lyme disease, and you get off that airplane and you are now carrying Lyme disease. And if your body does not have a good system to get rid of it, then you are going to develop some type of a symptom. And there are over 300 symptoms of Lyme disease, 300 diseases connected with Lyme disease. So whole families can pick up Lyme disease, and every single person develops a different problem. And so the medical doctors are not connecting it. So as a prevention, we want you to realize some of this idea and just play Lyme once in a while. Does that make sense? So this folder, if we're trying to get rid of some different viruses and parasites and things like that, we need to clean them out. So the lymph flow is very important to be in there, and specific ideas for Lyme disease. So it is a protection mode for you, and hopefully a wake-up call to the fact that Lyme disease is pervasive across the U.S. Now, medical doctors will say here in Kansas, oh, there's no such thing as Lyme disease, but there is. It has just been passed in so many different ways. So again, first wave is some protection ideas for you. So that's why we included Lime Wave in this one. So we encourage you to play that every once in a while. So the same thing with Parawave. All right. So we are talking about parasites. We don't have double-blind studies to prove this, but I did do some research with one of the systems that I have when I developed the WAVwatch. And we think we have a pretty good idea that the WAVwatch does an amazing job protecting you. So you want more protection because, again, this is an area that is pretty untouched by the medical community. People can be carrying around literally 40 to 50 parasites or more, and the medical community would choose to give you, if they could find a parasite, it would be usually one drug, one medication per parasite, per kind of parasite. So isn't it way much easier, a lot easier to run a generic folder for parasites that is on the WAVwatch, and to take care of those also in a different manner, just like the video showed you just a few minutes ago, a much, much easier way with frequencies. So again, parasites are pervasive. They're now actually paying attention to them and realizing that they're related to the big C word, the cancer word. So we need to be protecting ourselves. Doesn't that make sense?
Yep.
So another folder, I don't know if I'm talking too slow or too fast here, but another folder is that it's called Wave Defense. And this is to protect you from microorganisms that are directly related to that C word that we mentioned a while ago. Now, again, we're not saying that this is proof or that we have proof or that we have a double-blind study. I'm just saying that this is the way I developed the product. So there are certain microorganisms or pathogens that can be related to all kinds of problems, especially with the C word. So this is a folder, and it's a defense folder. So you are defending your body from different problems. So there are about 25 different specific ideas. And, different viruses, parasites, bacteria would be in this one. So it's, again, a way to defend yourself from an overload of toxins that are in our environment.
Yep. And speaking of toxins, we've got the Wave Detox, which is for those of you that are 1.0 users, really the whole detox folder is within these 3 frequency sets. Is that right?
Yes.
That's the best way to say it. Yes.
So before, people were using maybe one detox idea, which is okay, but different chemicals kind of combine or travel together. I mean, there's even information that parasites and heavy metals go together. That if you have parasites in your body, they are collecting the heavy metals. So when you clear out parasites, you need to clear out, heavy metals. And so the same thing goes with all of these. You actually need to be playing a variety of detoxification support rather than just one idea. So did you want to explain the Wave Detox, John, or am I jumping in too much?
No, you're 100% right. Like basically all 3 of those they're specific for those type of things. So environmental is one. Also, if you want to mitigate some EMF, that sort of thing, that sort of thing's in there. So like I recently was on an airplane and ran environmental support there, and then when I got off that airplane as well, because I've noticed Dr. EMF actually was talking to me about it and was saying basically, you're in a metal tube full of devices and on that airplane for that certain amount of time. And so during that time and coming off of that airplane, it's a really wise time to be playing something like environmental detox support, among other things. And yes, sorry, I was typing and answering some questions with but yes.
And then the heavy metal support is what it is. It is, detoxification ideas for many kinds of heavy metals that we had that we have. So these are overall generic folders, but they have everything in the folder that was on the old WAVwatch. If you are a fan of the old WAVwatch, we have just simplified it and made it so much easier for you to do just by pressing one button. You can be detoxing and not, and you can make that loop, or you can make it go from one idea to another. So again, we have the same exact 1,100 frequencies. I've lost track of my count there. Over 1,000 frequencies that were on the old WAVwatch. They are also on the new WAVwatch, but they are put into about 135 different frequency sets, if I'm saying that right.
That's right.
So, all right, let's go to the next slide. Oh, are we?
Well, we can go back. We can take questions. We've got quite a few questions in the chat that we might be able to answer verbally if you guys want to, or whatever you want to do. John, do you have any ones you've seen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a charger and answer some questions too. So I'm gonna disappear for a second, but looks like David is wanting to see if we can get it in Danish. And we are working on other languages. We don't have it out yet, but we are working on other languages too, the manual and whatnot. But I'm going to disappear for a second. I'll be back.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, Joseph, so can you put in the link for the frequency finder, or tell them where the frequency finder is? That's
yes. Let me do that right now. All right. So
while he's doing that, the frequency finder, if you have a WAVwatch 2.0, you can shoot a QR code that's right here. And that will take you to the frequency finder on your manual, this manual right here that came with it. So just shoot this QR code, it'll take it to it. And then it's also, Joseph is posting a static website. I'm going to take my WAVwatch off. So about some charging questions. The charger has 2 polarized magnets, and basically with those magnets, what you want to do is there's only one way for it to charge. I'm going to do it the correct way first. I'm going to go solo, Joseph. Is that all right?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, so there's magnets on the charger, top and bottom, and then there are hidden magnets inside of the unit, but not strong enough to do anything with a pacemaker or anything like that. And so you'll see that when it gets close, it just literally clicks into place. And if you try to do it from the wrong direction, if you try to do it from the top, it simply won't connect. And so some people are having some issues. You also might want to make sure that the cord there's not too much twist in the cord, as that could prevent the magnets from correctly latching on. And then if people are having issues with this, you can clean it. If it gets dirty, you can clean it with a little bit of alcohol or water, and then just wipe it clean. This unit, we're still waiting to confirm exactly if it's IP67 or 68, but it is essentially very, very water resistant, if not more. And so don't be afraid to get it a little bit wet when you do clean it if you're having any issues there.
With alcohol, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend rum, but you could do alcohol of some sort. Yeah. And then on the subject of charging, we're advertising 6 to 8 hours of frequency usage, and most people are getting much, much more than that. If you're not, there are definitely some settings in here that'll help you to maximize that battery life. And one of them is making sure that your screen is not on all the time. And so I can help kind of explain how that works too. But Joseph, do you have another question you want to work on?
No, go for it.
Okay. Well,
so can you put him larger so people can see his watch?
So basically, if you're wondering about any of the battery life type things, you scroll down to settings, And then watch face doesn't actually change your battery life necessarily. It's digital or analog. And on the display, the brightness of your display, if you were to have your display on all the time at full brightness, that's going to definitely use a lot of battery power. I've been normally using it at about 2 or 3. And then backlight timer, this is one that really definitely will affect your battery life. And so if you click it on always on, it means that the screen itself will never turn off during the time that you're using the watch. And then you have 10S, 20S, and 30S. That S stands for seconds, obviously. And so I normally run mine on 10 or 20. And then in order to, if you have this, which is we're in settings and then settings and then display. If you have it on the display timer always on, like I said, it'll always be on. If you have it on one of these other ones, then it'll go to sleep. And the WAVwatch is not designed to be woken up with the touch on the screen. It's designed to be woken up with a quick press on the button. Okay. And then we're going to scroll back down to settings. And then there's a couple of settings that could be confusing for folks here. And we have time and date and language. Those are pretty self-explanatory. And then, okay, so time to shut down is if you want it to run for a certain amount of time and then shut itself off, you can select that. And then you can see how it's gray, which means that the time shutdown is off. If the time shutdown is on, then that shows up as blue. Do we see that? Okay, we got blue, and then I'm going to undo it, and that's gray. Okay, so that's an on and off for the time shutdown. This actually tells the settings as in the time of that shutdown. So I don't have that on. And then can you guys see okay, Linda, Joseph?
I mean, you have to squint a little bit. But
Yeah.
Power saving is, oh, I just clicked the wrong one. That was restore. Okay, I'm going to click power saving. And then basically power saving makes it where when, if you're playing, say, a small folder with 2 or 3 frequencies, once that final frequency has run through, it will simply turn off. If this is on, then it will turn off after 3 minutes. So once your frequencies are finished, then the whole unit will shut down. But if you want it to stay on, whether or not a frequency is playing, then you simply turn that off. And I'm really not doing this so great backwards, but I'm trying here. So if you want it to remain on, even if there's no frequencies playing, then you would simply have this blue button off. Okay. And then, yeah, while we're here in the deep, dark settings, you can also do a restore, which is similar to a reset, but it doesn't actually erase your playlist, which is this one right here, which is, oh goodness, restore, which is right here. And that will just kind of do a quick restoration. But if you want to do a reset, if the unit's frozen or giving some issues, what you actually want to do is you want to just hold this power button down for 20 to 30 seconds, and it will do a reset of the unit as well.
Thanks for covering it. That was a lot, John. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm going to work on my backwards button pushing because that was a little bit
skill. Well, we do have some questions we could go over. A couple people with a 1.9 asked about where are these first wave or the brain wave on the 1.9. Do you want to try to cover that, John? We don't have something visual, unfortunately, but maybe you could help go over that.
So in order to make the 1.9 card work correctly on the original WAVwatch, we couldn't change any of the categories. And so first wave was not a category that we were able to have, nor brainwave. But basically, some of those folders or some of those frequencies are in some of the original folders. And so a few of them are going to be in chronic, some are going to be in seniors and whatnot. So that's, and then also there was a manual that would have shipped with your, or do we have a downloadable manual for 1.9 as well, Joseph?
Give me a minute to find that. We can come back to it.
Yeah. But basically, because we couldn't change the categories and on the 1.9, that's why those two didn't exist. And so their things are going to be a bit piecemeal in emotions, seniors, and chronic mostly is where many of the things from first wave and brainwave are going to be.
Thanks. Seniors, chronic, emotions, you said?
Emotions, seniors, and chronic. That's right.
Okay. Here's another question we've got.
Yes. So I have said that many times that these frequencies are like Rife frequencies, but actually Rife's frequencies were more electrical. So these are all acoustical frequencies. And but it is similar to that in the idea that it is a concentrated source of frequencies that we have that have been made into acoustical frequencies rather than electrical type frequencies, if that makes sense. And we call that, a lot of people say it's a rife on the wrist, it's like a way, that's what it is. And then other people say it's like a med bed on the wrist. I don't have mine on right now. I was holding my wrist up, but so we have had several different connotations for it. So it is trying to improve your frequency, your resonance, your ability to empower yourself through frequencies.
Yeah, so for those of you with a 1.9, I was able to, this is on the webpage for the 1.9. And like, as John mentioned, if you received one in the mail, you would have received a hard copy of this. But the stuff that we're talking about today, here it is, first wave, right? So wave relief, pair wave, wave cleanse, those are all on the chronic folder, as he mentioned. And then we've got the detox folder, which has those same detox frequencies. And then was it, you said seniors, John?
Yeah,
then,
seniors has some of the brain recovery, cognitive
brain recovery. Yeah, somebody had asked about the brainwave. Yeah, so all right, so that's the 1.9. And then we did have another question about the sleep settings.
Oh, great. Yes. I have not done the best job of covering that, but I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm just a backwards button pushing fool, man. Backwards button pushing fool. All right. So, okay, here we go.
Oh, sorry. Wrong. I'm trying to get you full screen.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can handle it. All right. So I was pretending to do a reset and it turned my WAVwatch off. So here we are. Okay. So, the sleep frequencies are something that I'm super excited that when we were able to introduce them. And we worked with our new friends, Dr. EMF and Jet, and they're part of the faculty of the Sleep Balance Academy. And if you've been to some of a wide variety of biohacking and longevity conferences through the fall, you might have met them at the WAVwatch booth. They're just lovely people, and they might even be on this webinar today. I'm not sure, but basically we worked with them, and then some of the knowledge that Linda's obviously brought into the WAVwatch and a bunch of research that I've done. And basically the sleep settings are kind of an amalgamation of looking at your the circadian rhythm, looking at from Jed and Dr. Court, understanding what the body needs when it goes in and out of certain sleep cycles, and then just kind of bringing a few other things in here, especially like vagus nerve and a few others. And so basically the way to do it is you would go, the way to initiate this correctly is you scroll down to sleep, getting very sleepy. And let's say that it is 9:40 p.m. So you see it says sleep 9 p.m. So you're going to click on 9 p.m. I'm going to make it. Oh, here's how you do the volume. You swipe left, right to left. And then I'm just going to turn the volume down so you can hear me better. Okay. So if you're going to sleep at 9:42 p.m., then this is playing. We're just going to fast forward, and it's not fast. Okay. We're fast. Oh, I can't see.
Well,
okay.
Let's just say they're going to bed at 10. Just show them what to do.
No, it's really important to know.
Yeah, so you just fast forward to 42 or 40, 41, 42, and then play it. And then the other thing that's really important, and if this was a game show, I'd ask somebody what the problem is. So with sleep, what you want to do is you want to have these two arrows pushed, not the repeat, because the repeat would keep it on the 9 p.m. sleep frequency, but the two arrows will let it play all the way through the night. And that coincides with your circadian rhythm. And will support different systems of the body that are working the hardest at different times of night. So again, I'll recap here. Besides my backwards button pushing. Okay, so if you're going to bed at 10 p.m., you just click on 10 p.m. and you hit play, and you make sure that this is on next. Okay, there we go. Next, and then you don't want it on the repeat. You want on the arrows. And then if it's 10:15, then you simply hit fast forward here, and you fast forward to where the red button says 15. And then just make sure and let it play through the night. And
that is really important so that you don't get frustrated because, it's 10:30 and I don't know where to set my watch. You just change the time so that it's at 10:30. And it does link with different things that are going on in your body, different circadian rhythms or hormones are playing at certain hours. Your liver is in charge from 1 to 3. Your gallbladder's in charge at a different time. Your thyroid's in charge at like 10 to 11, 9 to 10, excuse me. And so it is important that you get the best amount of frequencies that you can for the correct time.
That's right.
So that makes it easy to just touch that button and you can change the time on it very easily. And so that was a trick I had to learn from John. I didn't even know it was on there either. And so the question, JR?
So it's talking about a protocol for these things, whether they should be daily or every other day, or how long to use a set. What are you gonna say on that, Linda?
All right. So it's kind of hard to know what protocol you're talking about or asking about, but the sleep one is a good one. I really do run that almost every night now because it covers so many things. It's work. If I start at 9 o'clock, like I mentioned before, it's working on all of those different organs, the circadian rhythm. It's working on my hormones. It works on lungs from 3 to 5. So you are working on a plethora of things all night long that you might not even realize. Now, so that's a good thing to repeat and play at night, especially if you've had sleep problems before. But during the day, like if you're working on bacteria, some kind of a bacteria problem, you might run that 3 or 4 days in a row just to make sure that you think that you've gotten everything taken care of. There isn't a right or wrong. And that's kind of hard for some people to realize because it's not a medication. You don't take it exactly at the same time. What it is, again, is a frequency that you are absorbing into your body through the speaker on the back of the watch. And if the same frequency is in your body, those two frequencies meet, and that's called resonance. And then a reaction happens. So it could be an improvement, a rebalancing, or according to Tesla, that when different frequencies meet, like viruses, that would be called the mortal oscillation rate. And so these two viruses, you have a virus in your body, we send a virus frequency in like this, and they meet and actually self-amplify and break apart, blow up, whatever you want to say. Tesla had several phrasings for that, but his main one was called the mortal oscillation rate. So it doesn't make any sense that you play something 24 hours a day when mortal oscillation rate changes things fairly quickly. So you don't have to play things over and over again, and you don't have to play them the rest of your life. It is not a medication. And remember, these frequencies are different from medications. They actually do have a chemical wave, is the way to say that. And those frequencies go through your body very slowly. And so your body burns up 98% of them. That's what they say. So only 2% of the frequencies that we are supposed to be getting from our medications, our prescriptions, even our supplements are getting there, So that's why we have to take things over and over again. That's why you want to take your supplements every day. That's a good thing. But you now know why the importance is, because your body is then getting the good from those supplements that it should, because they are very slow moving through your body. But frequencies are just the opposite. They zip through faster than the speed of light. And so therefore, it is not as important for you to take them on a daily basis. It can be every other day, every third day. I try to do the first wave folders, maybe once a week, and then I'm working on some other things. Lately, I've been working on brain. So, lots of ideas.
This one's probably best for you too, Linda.
Do I need to have the watch attached to my skin to work, or can I put the watch under my mattress and get the sleep benefits? I think under your mattress might be a little far away. I think it would be a little bit better if it was on your wrist. Some women actually wear it in their bra during the day. They're trying, like, a beautician that I work with, she, doesn't want to get it wet washing hair all day long. And so it's in her bra. And if it touches your skin, it does tend to work just a little bit better, I believe. And I think under the mattress would be a little bit too far away. But now there are pillows that they are developing. So if you wanted to try your pillow, that would be just a little bit of a step up. And I would like that a little bit better than under the mattress. And again, you don't have to have it loud. It's supposed to be very soft. So you shouldn't even have to hear it. Now, I'm a deaf person. Don't forget, that's part of the reason I had such fun developing the WAVwatch, was because I needed something that would work even though I couldn't hear it. So it's not supposed to, or it doesn't have to go through your ears. So you don't have to hear it. You do have to have the sound set on 1 or louder. If you have the sound set on 0, it's not doing anything. You do have to have the sound on 1. Okay.
And we recommend a volume of 1 or 2 for the WAVwatch 2.0. And on the original WAVwatch, the square one, we're recommending around 4 of a volume. And then I have a question. I'm going to take this one, Silvano. And so Silvano is referring to something which is a reset on the original WAVwatch, the square WAVwatch. And yes, between the 2 volume buttons, there was a hole. Now, if you were to take a paper clip and try to poke it into the WAVwatch 2.0, it would not be very helpful, because that is a microphone that's a part of this, and so you're only be making it less waterproof. So don't poke anything in this hole. It is not a reset button on the WAVwatch 2.0. Okay, but that reset on the WAVwatch 1.0 is between the up and down volume buttons, and it's a very gentle press of a paper clip.
Now, the reset for the 2.0 is just to hold it for 30 seconds on the button that turns it on and off, the power button.
And then make sure, and then something else about these resets is many of our customers who have upgraded to the 1.9 card, you want to make sure and do a reset, a full charge and a reset after bringing that card, after changing your card out, because it helps reset the system to accept the new card. Mostly we've seen a lot better battery usage after, if people don't do that reset after changing the card, they have some battery issues. But once they do that reset, it makes it right again.
Okay. So the battery on the WAVwatch, or excuse me, on the 2.0 should last about 8 hours, and you should be able to do all night long. And I think some of them are lasting longer. But again, we are trying to make sure that you are using your WAVwatch, a minimum of about 8 hours, and then give it time to recharge. And then you can use it later on. Obviously, people get really excited and they want to use it 24 hours a day, playing all day long, but give your body a break. So it does work out really well for the length of the WAVwatch to run a minimum of 8 hours and then recharge it. And then, it'll take a couple hours to recharge, and then you can use it later during the day.
And then Diana's asking about working with animals. Yes, we've had a lot of people use it on their dogs. Courtney, who helps run our shipping department in Kansas City, she has, I think it was a Great Pyrenees, one of those giant, kind of like a small polar bear, basically. And it was afraid of storms. And I think she used it on him. I've got a hilarious couple of mutts in my house, and have used it on them quite a bit. And we've even got some different tutorials on how to use the Velcro band and kind of double down on that Velcro band to put it on a dog. I'm not trying to be anti-cat here. I just don't happen to have a cat. I have no experience with on the feline matter, but I wanted to kind of address that. And then I think that Nancy has a great question here, which is the best place to purchase the watch. So we have chiropractors and some health practitioners that might stock them in their stores, different healthcare providers. And then, the best other place to find the WAVwatch is on our website, and preferably with maybe an affiliate code. If there's someone that has given an affiliate code. And then if you don't have an affiliate code, then Joseph, what code would you want them to use? WAVwatch 100, right? Yes. So WAVwatch 100 on our website, which is WAVwatch.com. And
right.
Also to clear something up, sometimes we'll run a special where maybe we have some free shipping, or maybe we do something else. Whatever sales and whatever codes that we're running, those are not ever meant to, or will they ever exclude say an affiliate code. So they'll work hand in hand with those affiliate codes, because we really value our affiliates, and we want to make sure that they get the benefit of all the work that they do to hype up the WAVwatch and to share their great experiences with it. And so keep in mind that if we have a special going on, whatever affiliate code you have or would want to use is only going to get better by using that on our website, and it'll coincide with whatever specials we've got internally. There was quite a bit of confusion about that over the holidays. But yeah, just keep using those affiliate codes, and we'll, if we've got something, it'll make it even better. So.
Awesome. Yeah, we've got a lot of great questions. This is a neat one I hadn't heard before. Helps with fleas on our cat. So that's awesome.
Hey, yeah. And I love the testimonies for animals, because, they can't tell you what's wrong, but you can see that there's a difference. They react really well. And anxiety has been a huge one. Some of the emotional things have helped the animals more than anything. So we've gotten even some dental improvements in a horse. We've gotten testimonies on that, and colic that went away in another horse. And like I mentioned earlier, lots of emotional ideas. The animals just seem to come up and sit at your feet when you're playing. And wearing your own WAVwatch for anxiety or some type of an emotional, a calming idea. The animals really react to that. So animals are very fun. I think my sons are quite a bit better at reading questions and answering them than I am. So I think they're getting that done, and other people are helping also.
We're trying. You're doing great.
Yeah. So if you want to play something from start to finish in a folder, make sure that you set it at the top of the folder, the very first one, and then it would be Lime Wave in the first wave folder, and then it would play through all 5 of those ideas before it would shut off. Okay. And if you have, that means that you do have to have the double arrows set for it to run through all 5 of those, but make sure you put it at the top. If you put it in the middle, it will play from that point down. So very important information. All right. Any other questions?
This is an interesting one. My guess, I would say for SIBO would be leaky gut. Is that your best guess? Now oxalates, I'm not sure about that.
What is the question on oxalate?
To remove oxalates. That could be a detox, but
Yeah.
I think SIBO would probably be good as well. All right.
I wish we had one called Detoxylate, but we don't. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, I can't.
Too much.
All right, someone, I can't see the whole name here, is asking about they're having trouble charging it. It takes a long time to charge and then just plays for a couple hours. So no, that is not normal. And so there may be a problem with the battery, but please go through some of the ideas that John was showing you on making sure that everything is, taking low amounts of power. If you've got it set to, the full brightness and the full everything, you're taking up a lot of power. So make sure you do that. And then also check in with the customer service. And can you put that customer service number?
Yes, I can. No problem.
There you go.
One thing while he's finding that, the time that it takes to recharge a WAVwatch is, and I'm speaking completely only about the WAVwatch 2.0. The WAVwatch 1.0, we do recommend that you use the block that shipped with the device. But on the 2.0, there's an additional battery chip on board the processor or on board the device that is able to handle current in a different way, and it's not going to be harmed by using one that's too big. So like this one is going to charge faster than this one, and you can actually use different blocks, and they will have different charging speeds as well. So just keep that in mind, that you want to wait. That you can use different ones, and there will be differences. And if you're using some little tiny one, it probably will take longer than if you're using a bit larger one.
Good information. Now, by the same token, can you charge it on your computer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the 1.0s, we had suggested that you not charge, on your computer, and then the newer ones, the 2.0s, you're saying would be okay to charge.
That's right. And I see that Kathy is wondering about the warranty. So on the original information sheet, you would, if you purchased a warranty, you can shoot this QR code, or you can actually go to our website as well to activate that warranty. And you just use your order number and just register with that with your email address and your other information as well.
Okay.
So, and then the warranty, you're not going to receive a physical card or anything of that nature. It's basically just locked in and linked with your information. And on the WAVwatch 2.0, the serial number that is right here is what's linked with your warranty. The WAVwatch 1.0 is not serialized, and but we do register order numbers and email addresses with devices for the WAVwatch 1.0. But the warranties on the WAVwatch 2.0 are linked to these serial numbers right here. And
Yes.
Kathy, if you're not familiar with QR codes, there are other ways to register that are not a QR code, but I'll show you how this works. Basically, what you want to do
I just put it on there for Kathy. Yeah. So
well, I guess you don't get to see me do any more backwards mode.
well,
I'll work on it.
Sorry. You can show the QR code. Just some people don't want to use them, so I just put the link for them.
Yeah, that's good. I'll do more backwards stuff next time. It'd be cool.
Yes, you should. All right. Let me see if we got anything else here.
We appreciate y'all joining us today.
Yes, very much so. And we appreciate your interest in the 1.0 and the 2.0. All obviously, we spent a lot of effort in taking some of your information and feedback and developing a new product to make it better for you. So we're not saying it's perfect, but we definitely have some improvements that we are very proud of on the 2.0.
So yeah, last but not least, if you don't have a WAVwatch yet, we mentioned this already, but we are sharing our 100 off. So just go to buy.wavwatch.com and you can get $100 off every WAVwatch you purchase. So if you don't have one yet, we'd love for you to get one.
Right.
And if you don't have, and if you have a 1.0 and want to upgrade to the 2.0, yeah, just that's very affordable as well.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you all so much.
All right. I think that's all we got. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great week. Take care.